In today's tutorial, I'm going to show you how to create a chemistry slide in PowerPoint. As you can see here, I have added 4 test tubes with a stand here, and then I've added some shadow effect. And you can just put the option. This is option A, B, C, and D. Then you can add some detailed text, and I've added some icons at the bottom. And when I click, you can see here the bubbles start coming in in this test tube. And then when I click, the second one will come, the third one with different color combination, and then this is the fourth one. So you can use this particular slide for any of your chemistry presentations. And I have used one more where I've just used only 2 test tubes only. You can see here something like this basic. So depending on your requirement, you can just choose the slide from. And if you have not subscribed to my channel PowerPoint University, please subscribe it now and make sure to enable the bell notification icon. You can join my Telegram group with the help of this link. And if you like to contribute to my channel, you can do it through PayPal or Patreon. The link is provided in the video description section. I have used Office 2019 to do this slide. And if you're using the older version like 2007 and 2010, then some features might not work. So I highly recommend you to use the latest version of PowerPoint. So let's start the tutorial. Add a new slide, and I'm going to draw a test tube. For that, go to Insert, Shapes, and from the rectangles, I'm going to select this one, which is rectangle, top corners rounded. Draw, depending on your requirement, you can increase or decrease the size. And you can see 2 orange points. The first orange point, I'm just going to drag this outside, and the below orange point, I'm just going to drag this inside, so it becomes fully curved, something like this. So depending on your requirement, you can increase or decrease the height and the width. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to shape outline, make it no outline. Then I'm going to add one more rounded corner rectangle. Go to Shapes, select the rounded corner rectangle, draw the rounded corner rectangle at the top of this one. You can see here, shape outline, make it no outline, and shape fill, you can give different color, and later on we can change the color. Now what we need to do is, depending on the requirement, first of all you need to identify how many test tubes you need. Okay, so example, for my case, I'm just going to show you only 2, but actually I did for 4. So first of all, let me just go to view, enable the guides, and you can see here this one, I'm just going to group this. Okay, and then let me just put it here. So as I said, I'm just going to make it 2 only for the sample or for this video purpose. And then you can just hold the Control Shift key and just drag it one more. So you can see here I've added one more here. So I've got 2 test tubes now. So let me just select both of these, and I'm going to ungroup it. All right, the next thing what I'm going to do is I'm just going to select this, and I'm going to duplicate this, only this part, not the top part. So first select this, press Ctrl D to duplicate, and then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to give some different color and exactly place on top of the first one. You have to just make sure that it is exactly placed. There should not be any gap. All right, so you can see here, and the same thing I'm just duplicating, and I'm just going to, or I don't need to do this one, let me just do only for this. Now the next thing what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep only the top part, and the bottom part I'm going to delete it. Okay, so for that, go to Insert, Shapes, I'm going to select the rounded corner rectangle, draw the rounded corner rectangle, and make it fully curved. All right, not this much, maybe this one. Right mouse click, go to Format Shape. Let me just show you how much I'm going to keep it. All right, shape outline, I'm going to make it no outline. So what I'm trying to do is, you can see here the area which is covered, only that area I want to keep, and the rest I want to delete. So depending on your requirement, how much area you want to keep, you have to adjust this one. Okay, put it in the right position. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to select this shape, this one, the light yellow one, and then hold the Shift key, select this rounded corner rectangle, go to Format, Merge Shapes. Again, remember, merge shape is available only in the latest version of PowerPoint. If you're using 2007 or 2010, this particular option is not available. It is available in 2010, but you need to enable it. So just you can see here I'm just going to make it intersect. Okay, so what happened, only this part is there. Now if you want, let me just undo this one. For example, if you want to make it more curve, that means I'm going to reduce the size. You can see here something like this. All right, again, so I'm going to show you one more time. So I'm going to hold the, first of all, select this shape, hold the shift key, select this one, under format, merge shape, I can just say intersect. Okay, so I got only this shape. Now I'm just going to duplicate this and I'm going to put it exactly on top of the second one also. The next thing which I'm going to do is I'm going to add one rectangle covering the whole slide. So go to insert, shapes, select the rectangle, draw the rectangle. You can see here shape outline, make it no outline. Shape fill, I'm just going to give some light color and let me just send this to back. All right, now what I'm going to do is the blue, the test tubes or the shapes, I'm going to cut it from this gray one. So for that, let me just select the rectangle which I have just covered the whole slide, hold the shift key and select this blue rectangles. All right, so go to format, merge shape, and I can just make it subtract. So what happens here, let me just zoom out. You can see here our this rectangle becomes like this. All right, now once we have done this one, it's time to add the bubbles or whatever things which you like to insert within the test tube. We can add it, but before that one, let's play on, or let's change the color for this one. So I'm going to select the gradient fill and I'm going to use the type as linear, and then one time the first top I'm going to give some dark gray color. I can just change the direction, and here I can just make it somewhat lighter color. Here I can just make it somewhat darker color, and here again I can just make it somewhat darker. All right, and here also you can just make one more and make it somewhat lighter. So depending on your requirement, you can just increase or decrease. So this one I can just make it more lighter also. And once this is done, I can just, let me just zoom out and make sure that it is properly aligned in the center. And this also I'm going to give a gradient fill. All right, and gradient fill, the direction should be this one. All right, and let me just give the shadow effect here for this. Okay, and make sure that it is bring to front. And let me just select this one, go to home, format painter, I'm going to click this one, and again I'm just selecting this one and bring this also to front. So you can see here our test tubes are almost ready. And if you want to add any table kind of thing also at the bottom, you can add it. You can add just one rectangle or whatever which you feel, and you can give some 3D. So I'm not going to show you much in details. You can just find in my slide here. So now the next thing what I'm going to do is to add the contents or ingredients, whatever you call it, onto this particular test tubes. So I'm going to add the bubbles. For that, go to insert, shapes, and from the basic shapes I'm going to select the oval shape. You can draw the oval shape any size of your choice. Shape outline, make it no outline, you can see here. And then I can just duplicate this, reduce the size according to the requirement, and let me just give some different green color. For this I'm going to use some light green. For here I'm going to use some darker green. Press Ctrl D, and I can go to more fill colors, and I can just give some other green color also. So let me just add it. So you can see here I'm just adding it. Press Ctrl D, reduce the size, I'm going to put it here. Ctrl D, I'm going to increase the size. All right, let me just add one here. So I'm just going to add small this one. All right, so let me just select this. I'll put it here. One big one I'm going to make it for this. Then for this I'm going to reduce the size. So just randomly you need to add as much possible as you can. So, and what I'm going to do is, let me just add few more here. Going to add something like this, and I'm just going to select all of this, press Ctrl G to group it, Ctrl D to duplicate. You can see here I'm just duplicating this one. All right, and if you want to rotate also, you can just rotate it. So let me just again put it here. I'm going to add 3 4 which is going below this one. Okay, so it doesn't matter, and then make sure that it is aligned left, and then I'm going to group it. Now what happens if I just send this to back? It looks something like this, you can see here. And this color also, the background, if you want to change, you can just change the background to any color, some light color. And this shape also, you can, for this rectangle also, you can just give some gradient fill, which is I'm going to give some radial, center, and then I'm going to keep only 2 stops. All right, you can see here something like this. This one you can make it more lighter also, and the background you can make it somewhat white color maybe. All right, so this one, depending on your requirement, you can just change it. So even this also I can just make it light color, and this one, let me just make it somewhat darker. Okay, now I'm going to select this, press Ctrl D to duplicate, bring to the other side. Or before doing that one, what we can do is we can just add some animation to it. All right, so let me just close this one, go to the animations, enable the animation pane. The first animation, you can just add any animation. You can go to more entrance effect. So depending on your requirement, you can just choose any animation. You can see stretch, you can see here rise up, float up, so whatever. For example, I'm just going to select float up. All right, so if I play the slide, it comes something like this. And then I'm going to add one more animation. Select this one, add animation, go to more motion path, and I'm going to select the up. You can see here, click OK, and make sure that it should not go that much top. I'm just going to reduce the size by holding the shift key. All right, so let me just make this as with previous. Double click this one, smooth end and smooth start, make it 0, and bounce end, no need also for that. Timings, make it medium until end of the slide, and here I'm going to make it auto reverse and click OK. So you can see here, if I play now, it goes something like this, keeps on. Can you see here? All right, and if you want to give some shadow effect also, you can give for this if you want, otherwise no need. For example, let me just give some shadow effect. For this also I'm going to give the same shadow effect. All right, now let me just duplicate this by pressing Ctrl D, and I'm going to put it here. All right, so you can see here the animation already copied, so I'm not bothered about the animation. Let me just close this one, right mouse click, go to format shape, and then depending on my requirement, I'm going to change the color. Maybe I'm going to use a color combination of blue. Maybe this blue I'm going to give, and let me just zoom it. This also I'm going to select blue. You can see here. So here, wherever I can just see this color, I can just make it, press F4, so it will repeat. Okay, so you can see here I'm just repeating the blue color wherever required. All right, and for this light green, I can just make it maybe some other color, more lighter or more darker depending on your requirement. You can see here I can just randomly, I'm just going to change it. Different color combinations you can choose. All right, and for this I'm going to make some other color. Maybe I'm going to choose this color. All right, you can see here, sorry, I'm changing the other colors. I have to change this color. All right, sorry, I have to just change this. Okay, different color combination you can just choose. Whichever color combination you feel better, you can just choose this one. So let me just do something like this, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to select this and send this to back also. Now what happens here is when I play, it comes here again. On my next click, it comes something like this. You can see here different color combination you can choose. And as I said that if you want to add some stands or some table, you can go to shapes, any shape. Maybe I'm just going to choose the trapezoid, draw the trapezoid. All right, and then shape outline, make it no outline. Shape fill, you can choose any color of your choice. Maybe I'm going to choose some color, something which is brown, and go to the effects, the 3D rotation. I'm going to choose this one, and then I can just give some depth. You can see here. All right, and then depending on this one, I can just choose the lighting, whichever way which fits best, and I'm just going to put it here exactly in the center. So it looks something like this, you can see here. And then the last thing what you can do is you can just go to insert text box. You can add the option, maybe option number 1. All right, make it bold, use any font of your choice, and press Ctrl D to duplicate. You can just add this one. This is my second test tube. And then go to insert text box. You can add the detailed text. Center align, press Ctrl D to duplicate and put it here. All right, so let me just play now. When I click, this will come, and again on my next click it will come like this. So you can see here how good it is looking. And if you want to give some shadow effect or whatever you feel, you can just add it, that one.